Some clips make you question reality, and other clips make you question whether reality is even real at all.
What you're about to see doesn't just fit into the paranormal category, it rips the label right off. Trust me, this one is gonna mess with your head.
I'm Steve, this is Classified Captures. Welcome back. Now, before we unravel the madness, let's look at this first clip and see what's going on here.
2025 has been a crazy year, and things have got even crazier in August. I mean, look at this. How do you explain what's going on in your screen? Have you seen anything like this? At first glance, it might look like a cloud, but the more you look, the more you realize that it's not. It's definitely got to be something more, but what? That's the tricky part. Well, we don't know. Even after scouring the internet and trying to find a logical explanation for the whole thing, I couldn't come up with anything. Anything here means something logical. When we put our paranormal and conspiracy lenses on, we saw a machine in the sky, and if you look closely, you should see it too. It looks like a cloaked machine, doesn't it? Some in my team thought this machine might be a flying saucer, whereas others thought it was man-made and that the government was most likely up to no good. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but take a good look and tell us what you think as well. Look what we have here. This tiny-looking creature sitting right on someone's finger. At first glance, it almost looks like the facehugger alien from the movies, except this one is much, much smaller. Now, are these things even real? Well, some people are saying this could simply be AI-generated footage or some kind of trick. But with all the strange videos and evidence we've seen lately suggesting that aliens might already be amongst us, it doesn't seem too far-fetched to imagine something like this existing. Could this be a glimpse of a baby alien species or maybe some type of unknown insect or organism we've never documented before? We all know that weddings are usually a time of merry and joy. For the couple, it's the start of their forever after, which is why wedding photographs are important. But what do you do when you receive your photos and see what's on your screen? If it wasn't already clear what I was referring to, take a good look at the image on your screen. In the back, you should see someone in a white dress who doesn't look like she belongs. And by not belonging, well, I mean she doesn't seem alive. The photographer as well as the couple whose wedding this image is from believe it's a ghost. More so, they're worried because the ghost appears to be wearing white, which to them is bad luck. They uploaded this asking people if they should be worried and wondering what to do. Some have accused them of faking it, while others are concerned. You've seen the image. What's your opinion? As disturbing as the concept of ghosts might be, sometimes humans are even scarier. The clip on your screen was captured by a couple who'd set up cams in a blind spot of their home. They at first made sure there was no hidden cameras in their home when they moved in, but as time went on, they started hearing strange sounds around the house, specifically the attic. They then set up a camera system to monitor the area, and what you're seeing was captured by that system. It wasn't a ghost or spirit moving through their home. No, it was a neighbor of theirs. But why? Why was he doing that? Well, the answer is simple. He was trying to set up his own camera so he could peep or spy on them. Yeah, that's actually what you're seeing. Had the family not been proactive, they would have been exposed to someone without knowing. Thankfully, with this video evidence, they were able to get authorities involved. The man was then arrested and sentenced. Interesting, huh? We've spoken about sea serpents on this channel and even shown you many clips, but recently this one's been going viral and the debate is on again. At first glance, this looks like a simple video of the sea with its waves raging on, and a closer look would, however, reveal that there's something serpent-like moving within the water. It's black, large, and definitely not a fish. Many who saw this believe it's an original clip of the great sea serpent rising from the abyss. To them, this is a sign that the end is nigh. A few others, however, believe there's gotta be a more logical explanation, but are unable to give it. I've watched the clip over and over and over again, and I believe that there's definitely something there. What, however, I can't tell. But let's see your theories. If you love going into the sea, well, you might want to skip this one, unless, of course, you can't be scared out of it. The photo on your screen was captured by a mum who was watching her husband come out of the sea with her little boy. It was a proud moment she wanted to immortalize, but she ended up capturing something more. Do you see the yellow substance around the man's leg? Not sure if you noticed, but it looks like an arm holding a weapon like a spear. Some think this is a mermaid in the water, moving to attack and drag the man to the bottom of the ocean. Others think it's just plastic or something else. The debate has been on, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be a winner declared soon. Take a good look at the image and tell me what you think. This image was taken by a hiker up in the Nevada Ruby Mountains. While admiring the landscape, he noticed something strange flying across the horizon. At first he thought it might just be a bird, but when he zoomed in, the wings didn't look like anything from any ordinary bird at all. Not only that, the size was way off. This thing looked far bigger than any bird should be. So what exactly are we looking at here?
So could this be some kind of cryptid like the legendary thunderbird from Native American folklore, or is this something that we just haven't discovered yet? I don't know. What do you think?
A man was spending time at the mountainside playing fetch with his dog. He threw the object for his dog to catch, but as the camera followed, something unexpected appeared in the background. If you look closely at the sky behind the dog, you'll notice a strange object zipping by at incredible speed. It was so fast, in fact, that you could barely catch it with the naked eye. When the footage was slowed down, the object became a bit clearer, but it's still puzzling. It doesn't look like any insect. It's too fast to be a bird, and its trajectory seems unnatural. Many believe what was captured here could be a UFO moving far faster than anything we'd expect to see in a peaceful game of fetch. Just watch how quickly it darts across the sky. What are your thoughts? We have this strange photo. It was taken back in 2019, and interestingly, it wasn't even captured with a modern smartphone, but with an old flip phone. The picture shows a child standing in a room, but the real mystery lies on the right-hand side corner. If you look closely, you'll notice what appears to be a sparkly, glowing mass. It almost looks like it's drifting upward, as if it were moving into the ceiling. The effect doesn't resemble dust or a typical camera glitch. Instead, it gives the impression of something with form, almost like an energy or entity caught on camera. The person who took the photo claims they have no idea where this came from. They're not sure if it was just an artifact from the phone itself, a reflection, or if something else was truly in that room with them. So what do you think? Was this just a strange glitch from an outdated technology, or did this flip phone accidentally capture something paranormal? A woman named Rebecca recently shared something online that sent chills through everyone who heard it. She received a strange voice message that didn't come from any number she recognized. When she played it back, the voice said something bizarre. Take a listen.
This is probably one of the creepiest voicemails I have ever gotten.
Hi, you don't know me, and I don't think you'll find out who I am. But since you're a TikTok investigator, or wannabe, let's see if you can find out. Let's play a little game. Did you like the trunk in your backyard? Go out and find out what's in it. And I bet nobody will get involved because it's me.
Like, what was that at the end?
The person said that a truck had been left in a backyard, but here's the terrifying part. According to Rebecca, she has no idea who could have sent the message, and she definitely doesn't know anything about a truck being on a property. Even stranger, when she checked her backyard, she actually found a food truck parked there without her knowledge or permission. She insists she doesn't know who left it, how it got there, or why someone would even send her that message in the first place. And the voice on the recording didn't sound like anyone she knew. Creepy, right? Imagine waking up hearing that voicemail and then actually seeing a truck sitting in your backyard. What would you even do?
Did you like the truck in your backyard? Go out and find out what's in it. And I bet nobody will get involved because it's me.
Like, what was that at the end? The end is what creeps me out.
And I bet nobody will get involved because it's me.
This next clip was captured on a bar's security camera, watched behind the counter. A woman is mixing drinks as usual. She grabs a second bottle, begins to pour it into the cup, when suddenly the glass bottle flies right out of her hand and across the counter. Now, look at her reaction. She doesn't scream, doesn't even react. She just stands there almost frozen, as if this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Some people say the whole thing was staged, using a string attached to the bottle and pulled to make it look like a paranormal event. But others are convinced that this is the real deal and that the bar itself could be haunted and the staff are used to unexplainable things like this happening. What do you think? Next, we visit Mexico, where a lady had a very strange encounter. She was going about her business as always, using a path she's familiar with. On this day, however, she heard something unfamiliar, something strange and disturbing. It sounded like a man most of the time, but also like an animal because, well, there was no words being spoken. Confused and scared, she started recording and calling out to whatever was in the bushes. At first, it hushes her. Then, a few seconds later, it says hello. The woman is clearly freaking out by now, and as though that were not enough, it finally then says, "Come here." At this point, the lady's had enough and makes a run for it. When she uploaded the clip, many told her that whatever that thing was, it was trying to lure her into the woods. The big question many had, however, was what exactly was it that she encountered?
Hola. Ay, no mames. Güey, ¿qué pedo? No mames, no mames. A ver. Mira que se oye.
In Russia, there's a mysterious broadcast known as the Doomsday Clock Signal, or more commonly, the buzzer, UVB-76. It's been transmitting a strange buzzing sound for decades, only breaking its monotony with rare voice messages. Recently, the signal changed, and listeners around the world were stunned. Instead of the usual static and tones, a voice came on and clearly spoke two words: Azo Tabak and Ashlon. Nobody knows what they mean. This immediately set off speculation online. Some people believe it's a coded message for Russian military units, possibly linked to the ongoing war with Ukraine. With Russia and the US also exchanging tense words about the conflict, many fear this transmission could be a warning of escalation or even a signal for something darker to begin. Others argue it might just be a psychological tactic to stir fear and confusion, but given the buzzer's long-standing reputation as a potential emergency broadcast system for nuclear war, even a simple phrase makes people uneasy. So what do you think this meant?
Just days after rumors of a Trump and Putin talk about Ukraine retaliation, UVB-76 broadcast two strange Russian code words, Azotobak and Oshelin. No one knows what they mean, but they're never random. Some people say it's part of Russia's nuclear program, part of their nuclear command system. Others think it's just a bluff, just trying to scare people. Either way, when the Doomsday Radio speaks, the world listens.
Someone shared this shocking video of what they claim was a 6-foot-long lizard-like creature. It's massive and walking slowly across a field with its body swaying heavily with every step. Now, it doesn't look like a Komodo dragon, and it doesn't quite match any known reptile species today. People online say it could be a mutated reptile, and others believe it might be a prehistoric species that somehow survived unnoticed until now. If this footage is real, then we may be looking at proof of something that shouldn't exist in our time. What do you think? While most of the world is used to dealing with cars being ticketed or hauled away by tow trucks when they're parked in the wrong spot, China has introduced something futuristic. Instead of towing the vehicle, they've created a robotic parking system. It works like this. A flat, slate-like machine slides silently underneath the car, almost like a giant remote-controlled dolly. With surprising strength, it lifts the entire car off the ground and begins gliding it across the lot. There's no drive or visible effort. The robot simply moves the car to the correct spot and places it down perfectly aligned as if the car's parked itself. So imagine parking crooked, leaving for a few hours, and when you come back, your car is sitting neatly in the right space as though nothing ever happened. For some, this is a genuine futuristic solution to messy parking, but for others, it feels a little eerie, like we're slowly handing over control of even the smallest parts of our daily lives to machines. What do you think? When you go ghost hunting in a cemetery at night, you already expect an unsettling experience, but nothing could have prepared this group of ghost hunters for what they captured. They'd been walking amongst the gravestones, snapping random photographs here and there, but later, when they reviewed the shots, something chilling appeared. In one of the photos, there was a humanoid figure crouched over a grave. Its hand seems to be reaching out, touching the stone. The figure is not blurry in a way you'd expect from light tricks or smoke. You can see the outline of its head, shoulders, and arms clearly. It looks like a body made of mist, but shaped too perfectly to be an accident. The hunters thought they'd left the cemetery empty-handed, but this single image proves otherwise. A ghostly figure right there among the graves. What do you think? Remember that video I shared of the man who claimed he'd had a vision of the rapture happening on September the 25th? Well, things just got even stranger. This man went to look at his calendar only to discover mysterious writings on it, and according to him, he never made them. On the dates of September the 23rd through to the 25th, the message says that the rapture will happen. And on the 21st, another strange inscription says, Peace Day. The man insists he never wrote any of this, and many prophecies and online claims have been circling those exact dates, September the 23rd to the 25th, about a possible biblical rapture event.
So is the rapture really going to happen, or is this just another false alarm? Personally, I don't think a rapture sounds all that bad myself, but keep that date in mind, September the 25th, and I guess we'll see what happens, huh?
And I finally got to the office, I locked the door, put my glasses on, and I came to this calendar, and zoom in here, and this is what I saw on the calendar. It says, Rapture of the Church, September 23rd and September 24th, Jesus is coming. Now that's not my handwriting, I don't know who wrote that, and that blew me away. Like I was confused, I was like, in a daze, like, what am I seeing here? And next to it over here on the 21st, there's another writing That's not my writing either. And it says, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction will cometh upon them. And they even circled peace day. Now, I didn't do this. This is my calendar. This is my writing right here.
Next to the big question, are we alone in this universe, is another. Do superpowered beings live amongst us? While many find the thought laughable, to some the clip playing right now is proof that they are. The clip starts off normally, showing a young girl modeling in front of an audience. The strange thing, however, is that once she moves her arms, everyone in the direction where she does that falls. It's almost as though some telekinetic power comes forth from her. There are some who believe that's actually what happened, and a few others who feel the whole thing is, well, just a big coincidence. If you know anything about the internet, then you know this ended up in a full-blown debate. It's actually still ongoing. You've seen the clip, so what's your take? There is something very strange going on in Venezuela right now. A woman monitoring a live feed of radiation data noticed the alarming level spiked off the charts, showing extreme radiation in the country, and this isn't normal at all. And here's where it gets even more concerning. According to the same tracking sources, there are warships already moving toward Venezuela. That raises the question, why? So what exactly is happening here? If this radiation is in the air, then people could already be at serious risk. But what if it's coming from something else? Could there have been a secret nuclear accident, something buried underground that has just leaked, or maybe even a weapons test that nobody's talking about? Some people online are already speculating that it could even be linked to something not of this world. Radiation spikes are often connected to UFO sightings and strange aerial phenomena. The scary part is that no official explanation is being given, just silent warships moving closer and radiation climbing higher. So is this the start of a cover-up, or is Venezuela about to become ground zero for something much bigger?
Did someone drop a bomb up there? Was there some type of a nuclear explosion? Something is going on. There's warships headed over there. What happened? What happened?
What exactly are we looking at here? Someone in Chicago shared this strange video they filmed of the night sky. You can see the big, bright moon right there, but another smaller moon-like object by it. Watch closely. After a person walks in front of the camera, that smaller moon seems to flicker and move away from the bigger moon. How's that even possible? Some people think this could be evidence of a second moon. Others believe it could be a hologram projection, like some kind of secret sky experiment. But skeptics argue that what you're seeing is just an optical illusion from the moon's reflection on a glass window, making it look like there are two of them. Still, the way the smaller one seems to move on its own doesn't exactly look like a simple reflection. So what do you think? Did this person in Chicago really catch something strange in the sky, or is this just the glass? We all know about Tesla's popular inventions and patents, but there are some projects he's worked on before passing away that would absolutely blow your mind. He sketched designs for anti-gravity crafts that could fly without wings. Before neuroscience even became a mainstream field, Tesla was already preparing a device that could read and interpret brainwaves. He built a small oscillator machine that shook his entire lab, and witnesses say it felt like an actual earthquake, earning it the nickname the Earthquake Machine. He even attempted to generate electricity straight from the weather itself, pulling raw power from the planet. Tesla was also developing a directed energy beam weapon, which he claimed could melt metal from miles away. Even more shocking, he suggested creating tsunamis as a military defense by detonating powerful blasts deep in the ocean. During his Colorado Springs experiments, Tesla tried to collect and store energy from lightning itself, and one of his more futuristic claims was that he could one day see actual visionary images of our own thoughts, a concept we're slowly seeing emerge from today's brain-computer technology. Tesla even hinted that humans may have had interactions with beings not of this world, something that still fuels speculation about the hidden side of his work. These are crazy claims from back then, but in today's world, we are already close to these inventions. This photo comes straight out of the New Jersey Pine Barrens. This place is already famous for legends of the Jersey Devil. Someone claimed to have captured this strange winged creature mid-flight. At first glance, you might think it's just a bird or a bat, but look closer. The wings look far too large and the body itself seems to be holding on to something smaller, almost as if it's carrying prey. But the overall shape doesn't really match any animal we know. Now, locals have long said that the Jersey Devil lurks in these woods with wings, hooves, and a terrifying shriek. And for those who believe, this image could be one of the rarest moments where the legend shows itself. Skeptics, of course, argue it's either a bird caught at a strange angle or maybe even a hoax, but the truth is, the Pine Barrens have always carried a dark reputation, and this sighting only adds fuel to the mystery. So what do you think? Is this just a misidentified animal, or could it actually be the Jersey Devil caught on camera?
Might be part of some New Jersey cryptid mafia or something, you know? Could be like an Italian-American just sitting in the woods going, "Hey, yo, do us a favor and stop breaking my fucking balls." That would be a cool cryptid to have.
NASA has been making headlines after a set of classified images recently surfaced. At first, they looked like ordinary deep space photographs of Saturn, but look again. Floating near the planet, there appears to be an enormous glowing circular object, and when scientists measured its scale, the size was staggering, nearly 2,000 miles long. That immediately rules out any of Saturn's known moons or natural celestial bodies. It doesn't match an asteroid either. The shape is far too symmetrical. This has led to wild speculation. Could it be some kind of alien megastructure, a massive craft just lingering near the gas giant, or even something harnessing Saturn's energy for reasons we can't begin to understand? NASA hasn't released any official explanation, which only fuels the mystery further. Some believe they know more than they're saying. Others think this may be our clearest evidence yet of something watching us from out of the solar system. So, did we just catch a glimpse of a 2,000-mile-long UFO near Saturn? The clip on your screens was recently uploaded by a father who had gone to enjoy the woods with his kids. According to him, while they were concluding their time in the great outdoors, something happened that they hadn't anticipated. He asked his kids to wrap up their activities so they could return home. Just as they were about to do that, his son pointed toward the woods. He asked his dad what that was. He looks in that direction, and then he sees it. A strange-looking creature is heading in their direction. Once it notices it's been spotted, it jumps into one of the trees. Now, the man doesn't tell us much after this, but he asks us what we think it is. Some were quick to jump to the usual suspects, including the skinwalker. A few others were skeptical, though. They felt this looked too cartoonish, and even questioned how the man had already filmed this before the incident. They feel the man faked this for views and that the creature is most likely just bad CGI. When you've seen the clips, what do you think? This image was taken back in 2012 at Blackwood Creek in Montana. It came from a trail camera, and now the picture has been brought back up for discussion. Take a look at it. What you're seeing looks very much like a Bigfoot-type creature walking through the greenery. Notice the hunched head, the broad shoulders, and the upright posture that doesn't quite match any known animal in the area. Of course, some people are quick to argue that this could just be a hoax or someone in a costume, but others are convinced this is one of the clearest pieces of Bigfoot evidence ever captured. So did that trail cam actually catch a real cryptid roaming Montana's forests? This next video comes from Indonesia, recorded by bikers who were riding late at night outside of town. After a long ride, they decided not to head home but to crash in an abandoned building where locals sometimes hang out. Everything seemed fine until, in the middle of the night, one of them woke up. He said he suddenly felt a chill of unease, like he was being watched, so he grabbed his phone, pointed at the window, and that's when things got strange. If you look closely at the footage, you can see the windows, but you can barely see anything outside in the darkness. He described it as a thin, shadowy figure just standing there and staring in. He panicked, woke his friends, and they bolted out of the building, leaving their camp behind. When he uploaded the video online, reactions were split. Some say there's nothing there at all, just his imagination, but others say they see a dark figure moving at the window, like something or someone was outside. So take a close look. Do you see anything at that window, or is that just fear turning shadows into phantoms? This strange clip comes from a woman who was having a simple night in, just Netflix, snacks, and her dog. At one point, she got up to use the bathroom, but when she came back, she noticed this. Sitting beside her dog was the blanket she'd been using earlier, only it wasn't flat. The blanket was standing upright, as if something underneath was holding it up. The woman froze, but oddly enough, her dog didn't react. He just sat calmly watching the blanket and her reaction. For a long moment, the shape didn't move. Finally, she gathered the courage to swat it. The blanket collapsed instantly, but nothing was underneath. She later explained that while the experience terrified her, she didn't get a sense that the entity was harmful. Still, the idea that something unseen had been sitting right there under the blanket is disturbing enough. So was it a harmless spirit just trying to hang out, or something else hiding under the covers?
Is somebody there? I'm freaking out. Why is it sitting up like that? That's so weird. I got up off the couch. What is going on?
Now buckle up for a trip back to 1996 in Brazil. You see an alien when you look at this too, don't you? The story behind this is that the Brazilian army shot down a UFO and it crash-landed at Varginha, Brazil. As the military swung in to investigate, they stumbled upon this creature. A peculiar-looking one, which is almost reptilian in appearance and towering at about 7 to 8 feet tall, lurking around the woods. The soldiers managed to capture the mysterious being, but details about what happened next or where it was taken remain shrouded in mystery. Can't say that surprises me, but having seen the clip, what do you think? Is it truly an encounter with an alien, or is someone trying to mislead us? For the record, Aaron believes this is real. What about you? Still on the strange objects in the sky, this rectangular-looking craft was captured cruising through the skies. After seeing it, I concluded that with technology getting more advanced by the day, it could be a secret human creation yet to hit the public stage. I was also very certain it could be alien with all the extraterrestrial chatter going on these days. Julius came, read my notes, and stated it was a B-wing from Star Wars. So either the Star Wars craft was real or someone is just trying to mess with me. Which do you think it is? And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, with there popular trail cams you've come across that you think we should absolutely feature on this channel, please tell us in the comments section. And if you personally have odd footage you recorded yourself, you can forward it to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do the needful analysis and include it in our next episode. We'll also give you credit, unless of course you want to remain anonymous. We can't wait to receive your clips. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. This mysterious photograph has recently surfaced from an anonymous man in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. The image, taken 13 years ago during a camping trip near Square Top Mountain, depicts a figure that has ignited a wave of speculation among Bigfoot enthusiasts. Captured in the Arapahoe and Roosevelt National Forests just west of Denver, the photograph shows a distinct figure amidst the dense wilderness. Shrouded in foliage, the figure's shape and size have led some to believe it could be the elusive Bigfoot, a creature long rumored to inhabit such remote areas. For experts in cryptozoology, the excitement around such sighting hinges on the clarity of the photograph and the details surrounding its capture. The rugged terrain and isolation of Square Top Mountain provide a plausible backdrop for encountering such a legendary creature. The dense forests and expansive wilderness of this region make it an ideal setting for a creature like Bigfoot to remain hidden from human eyes. A resident in a neighborhood was out one night when he noticed something unusual. Above one of the buildings, there was a green light, and from this green light were green lasers moving back and forth across the sky. The first thing that came to the minds of many was that this was some sort of UFO activity. The way the lasers move, the intensity of the green light, and the sheer strangeness of the scene make this theory probable. Some members of the paranormal platform, however, believe that this is nothing more than a drone equipped with lasers. Perhaps someone was using it for a light show or some sort of event. Drones can perform incredible light displays, and with the increasing accessibility of a high-tech drone, it's plausible that this could be an elaborate setup by a tech enthusiast or an artist. What do you make of this? Is it just a drone with lasers, or could it be something more otherworldly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. I don't know about you, but everyone I know hates it when toilets get clogged. But what happens when it's not your toilet, but a dam drainage? Well, you assemble your best men and start ramming it like it's no one's business. That's exactly what these men did, and after a few seconds, there was a breakthrough, literally. But you have to wonder, what kept it clogged? Well, many who saw the footage claimed many different things. One person states he can see an elk carcass come out. Another person says it's a giant chicken leg. Personally, I don't see it. I believe I'm looking at the log they are ramming the dam with. It appears to have some extra clothes at the end. Perhaps I am seeing wrong. Can you guys tell me what you think? Next, we have an eerie scene from a school in Pune, India. The footage shows us a group of students and a teacher seemingly trying to restrain a girl, but here's where it takes a hair-raising turn. The girl's body starts contorting in strange and mind-boggling ways while defying gravity. Yeah, she's actually levitating. That claim she's being possessed. Now, we've seen our fair share of orchestrated footage, but something about this sends a chill down the spine, making it hard to dismiss. So could this be a genuine case of possession, or is it just another well-crafted act? If you have ophidiophobia or the fear of snakes, consider this your cue to move to the next clip. If you don't and want to watch anyway, then be my guest. Here's a stunning close-up of a reticulated python, one of nature's most awe-inspiring creatures. Fascinating, yet scary. Julius confirmed that this was not CGI, which makes me a tad uncomfortable. Like, why would you be moving near a snake that big? Julius thinks it might be a pet, but I don't know about that. For those seeing this for the first time, the reticulated python, known for its intricate, mesmerizing scale pattern, is the longest snake in the world, capable of reaching lengths of 20 feet. In this close-up, you can see the intricate details of its scales, each one reflecting light in a way that highlights the beautiful reticulated pattern from which it gets its name. The scales shimmer with hues of gold, brown, and black, creating a camouflage that blends seamlessly with the forest floor. These pythons are native to the rainforests, woodlands, and grasslands of southeastern Asia. Their striking appearance is not just for show, it's an adaptation that allows them to blend into their surroundings, making them formidable ambush predators. They rely on their powerful constricting abilities to subdue prey, which can range from small animals to birds. This is why the thought of it being a pet worries me. This looks like a neighborhood that might have kids. What happens when the snake decides to want something a bit more, human? Next up is our bonus segment. Your answers in our previous segments have just been on point, and we're still compiling. But I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to have you guys guessing what this thing is. I have a lot to say, but I won't. Take a look at this for a few seconds and let me know what you think. I can't wait to read your responses.
A home security camera captured this clip of a strange entity zooming past the cars outside. It's like a glimpse into the unknown right in the driveway. The big question now is, what in the world could that entity be? A neighborhood ghost out for a joyride, or maybe just a high-speed extraterrestrial commuter? This footage is like a snippet from the Twilight Zone caught on camera. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Talking of different, a guy finds himself in the underground piping, and the big question is, how in the world did he end up there? Did he leap a large drain, or perhaps attempt a daring self-flush down the toilet? The good news is no one got hurt, and the guy was safely removed from the pipe. But the mystery remains. What's the origin story of this unexpected plumbing expedition? Next up, we've got our bonus segment, which features this strange-looking fish that was spotted along a riverbank, and it's certainly turning heads. I know there are some of you who know the creatures of the sea like the back of your hand. Consider this your personal trivia. Can you recognize this fine but strange specimen? Can you share any facts about the creature? Please do that in the comments section and start your answer with the word bonus. The right combination of answers may just make it into our bonus questions Hall of Fame. All the best. When I saw this clip, I was so excited. I kept asking myself if this was the clip that confirmed Bigfoot's existence once and for all. Without thinking too much about it, I got Julius involved and asked him what he thought about this convincing Bigfoot footage. He stood still for a few seconds and then went to his laptop. After about 15 minutes, he returned and told me this was a scene mirroring one from a movie. The movie is actually titled Bigfoot, The Unforgettable Encounter. This scene is actually being created using AI to mirror a scene from the movie. You can imagine my disappointment. I didn't even watch the original clip. I went to the comments section of the original post, and surely it was there. Another person also mentioned that a bear would run from a Bigfoot, which makes sense when you think about it. A fully matured Bigfoot would be larger and definitely more intimidating than a bear. And how did I fail to fact-check this? I'm not going to hear the end of it from Julius. Have any of you watched the movie? Did you recognize the scene? Let us know in the comments. Now, Julius and I love wild, exotic animals, so we make it our job to search for them and adore them. But even we don't know what this is. It looks like a mix between a bat, a sloth, and a primate. On second thoughts, you could even throw a badger in the mix of animals it looks like.
We did a lot of digging and some individuals thought it might be a long-haired macaque, but our research proved it wasn't. We've done a lot of cross-referencing and nothing is convincingly similar. Has any of you encountered anything like this? Can you help out with its name? Thanks a lot. The riveting discovery. Someone spotted some movement in a river, and upon closer inspection, this is what he found. No, you're not imagining things. That's an actual lobster, and a colossal one at that. A giant making waves in the water. If you pay attention to the clip, you'll realize that its size is not the only thing that sets it aside. No, take a look at its eyes. Those blood-red eyes certainly will. It's like something out of a deep-sea horror. Nature has a knack of throwing curveballs at us, and this lobster is no different. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd actually want to see this. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this river-dwelling giant with its intense ruby-red eyes? A group of Bigfoot researchers ventured deep into the woods of Montana, a known hotspot for sightings of the elusive creature. They set out after receiving a tip about a recent Bigfoot sighting in the area, eager to capture something on camera. As they set up their equipment and panned the camera around the dense forest, everything seemed still and quiet. Initially, they didn't notice anything unusual, but it wasn't until they reviewed the footage later that they saw it. Between the trees, there was a face. The creature's head was domed, and its fur blending seamlessly with the shadows of the forest. Its brow was creased, and it seemed to be carefully watching the group from a distance. The Bigfoot stood there for a while, almost as if it was observing them before it finally disappeared in the woods. The creature's slightly brownish-black fur blended so well with the tree trunks that it was nearly impossible to spot it unless you're looking very closely. Could this be solid evidence of Bigfoot's existence? What do you think? After heavy rainfall, a woman captured something truly unusual. A thick drop of rain clinging to a leaf with an insect seemingly trapped inside. The insect was wiggling, struggling to break free from the water's grasp. At first glance, it seemed like a simple occurrence, an insect caught in a raindrop, right? But when you look closer, it almost feels unnatural. The way the water enveloped the insect, holding it there, motionless except for its faint, desperate movements, gave the moment an eerie quality. Could it be just a rare natural phenomenon, or is there something more to this strange moment? In Miami, people have been spotting these strange objects in the sky, and our next clip captures one of those situations. It looks like some sort of tank. I'm not very sure of what it is. Some say they might be surveillance balloons, perhaps part of a monitoring or security initiative, but others think it's alien-related. After some personal research, I'm convinced it's nothing more than a blimp. Julius adds that this particular one could have been designed by Goodyear. Is anyone from Miami out there to confirm this for us? Dive into the realm of the uncanny with this peculiar moment caught on camera. A man was sitting on a motorbike with his back turned to the camera when all of a sudden you see him getting off the bike to sit properly on it. But wasn't he already sitting on the bike? A closer look and you'd realize there was something strange about the way he was sitting. So how did he ride the bike if he was seated like that? Well, no one knows, and it's left many to speculate. Some even think the whole thing is nothing but a glitch in the Matrix. You've seen it, right? What's your take on this surreal scene? This footage was taken in Orlando, Florida, where a huge blue orb was seen flying by. Just look at it. While many hoaxes and fake videos are circulating online, this one feels different. The way it moves in the vivid blue color is truly mesmerizing and eerie. Could this be a genuine sighting of something otherworldly, or is it just another elaborate trick? Florida's history of sightings and mysterious events only adds to the intrigue. From glowing orbs to unexplained aerial phenomenon, the Sunshine State seems to be a focal point for the unexplained. Florida has had many sightings of strange phenomena over the years, making it a hotspot for UFO enthusiasts and paranormal investigators alike. So my question is, what is going on out there in Florida? Is there some sort of portal or interdimensional gateway, or is there a rational explanation for these sightings? Please share your thoughts. This man is shaking, clearly in shock, and lodged in his cap is the disc from a cutting wheel. The disc would have gone right into his skull if he hadn't been wearing a cap that day. Just look at how he's trembling. It looks like his life is flashing before his eyes. This close call is a stark reminder of the unpredictable dangers we face daily. The cutting wheel disc, a tool designed for precision and strength, became a potentially lethal projectile in an instant. The cap, a seemingly insignificant piece of clothing, turned out to be a lifesaver, preventing a catastrophic injury. As the man stands there shaking, it's easy to imagine the rush of thoughts and emotions running through his mind. In moments like these, people often report a sensation of time slowing down, replaying key moments of their lives as they grapple with the gravity of the situation. Have you ever had a close call that made you reevaluate safety precautions? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Next, we have a peculiar scene straight out of a doll-filled room. In this eerie footage, one particular doll takes the spotlight. A monkey doll, casually lying in a box behind it, decides to make a move. Watch closely. The doll stands up straight, gazes at the ceiling, surveys the room, and in a rather unsettling way turns to look directly at the camera. With an eerie twist of its head, it then nonchalantly goes back to lying on the box as if nothing out of the ordinary just happened. It's like a scene from a horror movie, right? Dolls coming to life. Now, these kinds of videos can be tricks or staged for fun, but it sure gives you a spooky vibe. Anyway, what do you think is going on with that monkey doll? Humans are not the only weird things out there. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this footage. Someone captured this scorpion-looking insect on a dead grasshopper. I don't know if it was eating the grasshopper or not, but this insect looks like it could cause some damage. After some digging, someone mentioned it was a scorpion fly. Before the name misleads you, these insects are not real flies. They're part of the Mecoptera order. They got the name scorpion fly from the male's private parts, which can look like a scorpion stinger. Now, scorpion flies are usually scavengers or predators. They chow down on all sorts of stuff, including dead insects. As you can see with this presumably dead grasshopper, it's likely just having a meal, either cleaning up the grasshopper or maybe it's having it as a snack. It was great to have solved the mystery, but after some more reading, I realized that there are some slight differences between an actual scorpion fly and what's on the screen. This looks like it actually has a scorpion body while the scorpion fly doesn't. Has anyone out there encountered any of these things? Care to confirm if they actually look like this? If you can, please do so. We'll be reading in the comments. Next, we've got these strange pixel-like patches of light in the sky that have everyone talking. It's an eerie and captivating sight, leaving us to wonder, what are we looking at? They could be an unusual atmospheric or weather phenomenon. For instance, certain cloud formations, light reflections, or interactions with atmospheric particles can create odd visual effects, especially when artificial lights from the ground interact with weather conditions in specific ways. Could it be something more extraordinary, like a display of unidentified flying objects? While UFO sightings often come with stories of mysterious lights in the sky, another intriguing possibility is that these lights are the result of a light show or laser display. Advances in technology might have it possible to create stunning visual effects in the sky using lasers and drones. Many in our paranormal community do not, however, think that's the case. What say you? How do you feel about the school system? Before you answer, take a look at this intriguing footage. There's an ant on a white sheet of paper, and a hand holding a black marker draws out barriers on the sheet. The ant always diverts its movements when the barriers are drawn. This simple experiment raises an interesting question. How does this relate to our school system? Just like the ants, students in the school system often encounter barriers that influence their paths. These barriers can take many forms: rigid curricula, standardized testing, societal expectations, or even limited resources. When these barriers are drawn, students are forced to navigate around them, sometimes diverting from their true passions and interests. The ants' behavior in this experiment can be seen as a metaphor for how individuals respond to obstacles placed in their educational journey. Instead of freely exploring and discovering their potential, they may find themselves confined within predetermined boundaries, constantly adjusting their course to fit within the lines drawn by the system. What is your take on this?
A home surveillance camera facing the window captured something chilling late one night, and it's got people talking. Just take a look at this. In the footage, a massive face with hollow sunken eyes and a wide bony nose bridge is seen peering straight into the house. This isn't just some faint reflection or trick of the light, it's as if a giant creature is standing right outside the window watching. The eyes, empty and dark, seem to be staring directly inside with an almost unnatural stillness, while the rest of the face remains shadowed, adding to its unsettling presence. Imagine seeing something like this on your camera feed in the dead of night. It's no wonder people are left questioning what exactly this figure could be. Is it just an illusion, or is there really something lurking in the night? In this next footage, a woman was getting ready to go to bed when she noticed something or someone peering through her window watching her. She described it as a humanoid in shape, but its face was unlike anything she had ever seen. Pale, with large dark eyes and an expressionless mouth, it seemed to have a strange, almost unnatural stillness. Caught between fear and disbelief, she watched it for a moment before it silently backed away, vanishing into the night. The eerie encounter has left viewers unsettled, wondering if this was some kind of paranormal entity, an extraterrestrial, or something else entirely.
Take a look at this startling footage, a large greenish orb descending from the sky and landing on Earth. It's a sight that is both mesmerizing and alarming. Could this be a comet or some other celestial object? Some viewers are convinced that what we are seeing is a comet, a natural phenomenon where a chunk of ice and rock from outer space enters Earth's atmosphere, burning brightly as it descends. The greenish hue might suggest the presence of certain elements like copper or nickel, which can burn green when heated. However, skeptics think otherwise. Many people believe this footage is digitally altered. One key piece of evidence is the lack of reflection of the orb's light on the water below. If the orb was real and as bright as it appears, we would expect to see its light reflected in the surrounding environment, especially on the water's surface. What do you think?
I don't know what the fuck this is, rolling around in this water.
There ain't nothing there.
But you don't see anything.
I went away.
And then it just stopped. What the fuck was that?
Now, this is something you don't see every day. At first glance, I thought this had to be AI, but the individual who posted it insisted it was real and there were actually individuals trying to explain it away. One individual even posted, "This usually happens when the elements of the distributed oxygen amongst the perpetual nucleus generates chemicals to react to such abnormal hypothesis, segregating in unique formation that utilizes the recalculated stigmatisms that articulately understands patterns of the strategic non-placement of the reconstruction of the general systematic patterns of the geological restoration of the H2O that's transparent to visual effects of circulatory motion." When I saw this, I believed this was the explanation, although I didn't understand a word it was saying. So I walked toward Julius, showing him the video, and started to explain using the same words this lad used. Julius took a second to look at me and respectfully told me I had spoken gibberish. What I had said made no scientific sense. That hurt my soul. It's easier to have him look down on me for not knowing, but for him to do so because I said a lot of wrong stuff hurt in a way I didn't know was possible. It turned out there were others who called out the individual for typing things that was not true, but I missed it because I was so preoccupied with showing off to Julius. Whatever the case, you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet, even if it sounds smart.
What the fuck this is, rolling around in this water.
There ain't nothing there.
But you don't see anything.
I went away.
Birds, when they're still young, rely entirely on their mothers for food. Their mother brings back worms and feeds them directly right into their open beaks. But as they grow older, they have to start learning how to gather food on their own. Watch this hilarious video of a young bird going through exactly that. There's a worm wriggling around on the ground, and instead of picking it up with its beak, this bird just opens its mouth and follows the worm around, waiting for the worm to jump in on its own. What a funny sight. Looks like it still has a lot to learn about being self-sufficient. China has been making groundbreaking strides in technology, and now they've got their sights set on revolutionizing global travel. Imagine flying around the world in just 7 hours. That's the goal of a new hypersonic plane China is reportedly working on, which could potentially change the way we think about long-distance travel forever. Traditional commercial flights from, say, New York to Sydney, Australia, can take upwards of 20 hours. But with this new hypersonic technology, trips that would usually take nearly a day could be reduced to just a few hours. By reaching speeds of over Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound, this plane would be able to zoom around the world in a fraction of the time we're accustomed to. To put this into perspective, the average passenger jet flies at about 570 miles per hour, but a hypersonic jet could reach speeds upwards of 3,800 miles per hour. Possession is a topic that sparks heated debates across various traditions and religions. Some affirm believers that these events are real, while others dismiss them as symptoms of mental illness.
It's a polarizing subject with passionate arguments on both sides. In this bizarre footage, a young girl wakes up in the middle of the night, startled by loud banging sounds coming from the kitchen. Nervous but curious, she grabs her phone and starts recording as she heads toward the noise. What she finds is deeply unsettling. There, standing in front of the oven, is her mother, but something's off. Her mother is repeatedly banging the oven door, lost in the action as if in a trance. Confused and frightened, the girl calls out to her, but the moment her mother turns round, things take a terrifying twist. Her mother's gaze is vacant, her face twisted in a way that almost seems inhuman. Then, without warning, she lets out a horrifying, unnatural sound. It's nothing like her mother's voice, something much darker. Suddenly, her mother starts moving towards her, the strange noise still coming from her. Panicked, the girl sprints back upstairs and the footage cuts off. Was this a disturbing display of possession, or could it have been a case of sleepwalking? Sleepwalking can explain strange behaviors, but the unnatural sounds and the mother's eerie gaze leaves much to wonder. What do you think? Could there be something much more sinister at play?
Couldn't AI, even in this moment, just with the technology that we have before us, be used in some fairly destructive ways?
You can make a swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones.
Ever thought about AI-powered assassin drones? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, according to Elon Musk, it's not so far-fetched. In fact, he warns that he already has the tech to build them today. Scary, huh? But don't panic just yet. Musk has an idea to keep us safe. He's all about human-AI symbiosis, where humans and machines work together. How? Through Neuralink. Yeah, we're talking electrodes and tiny wires implanted in your brain to give you cognition, a serious upgrade. Think of it like having a smartphone in your head, helping you think faster and smarter. And Musk, he's confident this could happen within a decade. What do you think? Is this something you would subscribe to, or does it give you end-of-the-world vibes?
And having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep with a welding until they find the person they're looking for, ram into them, and then explode. You can do that right now. No new technology is needed.
This next video was shared by a man who experienced a close call with something we're probably all guilty of. He left his charger plugged in overnight, lying on his wooden table, but when he woke up the next morning, he found the charger had somehow caught fire, burning a hole right into the table. Just look at that damage. It's a clear reminder that we often take the convenience of charging overnight for granted, but leaving chargers unattended, especially on flammable surfaces, can be risky. Some of us even keep them on our beds while we sleep, so keep those charging areas safe and always be cautious. A man in Florida was driving home one night when he spotted a mysterious light hanging in the sky. Unlike any star or aircraft he'd ever seen before, the light was bright and distinct, capturing his attention immediately. Intrigued, he pulled over, stepped out of his car, and began recording it on his phone to get a closer look. As he zoomed in on the light, it became even more unusual.
The brightness and shape didn't seem to match any typical explanation like a star, aeroplane, or helicopter. The light was moving and pulsating. It wasn't high enough to be a distant star or planet, and there was no sound associated with it, ruling out the usual suspects like a drone or low-flying plane. The video has left many people wondering what exactly he captured. Could it be a rare atmospheric phenomenon, a new type of technology, or perhaps something more mysterious?
That is just a massive
You can see
footprint.
the toes.
Yes.
That's so neat.
I didn't expect to find anything.
Me
We haven't
neither.
had much luck in the
Let me get a
wintertime.
picture to see.
A man and his partner were hiking in the mountains when they stumbled upon something unusual: footprints. But these weren't just ordinary prints. They were massive. And what's even more curious is that there were two distinct sizes. One set of prints was slightly larger than the other. Now here's where it gets even weirder. The prints appeared to be sidestepping, almost as if something was shuffling its feet. This strange movement left them puzzled, but according to some, this sidestepping gait is linked to a well-known behavior of Bigfoot. It's said that when Bigfoot is stalking its prey, it moves stealthily, sidestepping to avoid startling whatever it's hunting. The location of these prints, a known Bigfoot hotspot in the Siberian mountains. The couple even reported hearing eerie noises earlier in the day, which they now believe could have been linked to the creature. The size, the strange walk, and the timing all point to one thing: Bigfoot. What do you think?
We're gonna have to measure this too.
Okay.
Found a Bigfoot that was sidestepping right here. He's doing this little shuffle sidestep.
Ever heard of the term black rain? No? Well, today's your lucky day. You'll get to watch it as well. Confused? And yes, those are actual fishes falling from the sky. It's not something you see every day, but it's something that actually happens. Black or animal rain is a phenomenon where fish and other small aquatic animals fall from the sky. It has been reported in various parts of the world. It occurs when strong storms, waterspouts, or tornadoes pick up fish, frogs, and other small animals from bodies of water and carry them through the air. Eventually, these animals are dropped, sometimes miles away from where they were originally lifted. Though rare, this occurrence has been documented throughout history, with some notable instances happening in Honduras, known locally as lluvia de peces, which is essentially rain of fish. It usually coincides with strong weather patterns, and is not related to any supernatural or mysterious causes, despite some myths or conspiracy theories surrounding it. In Northern California, in October 2024, a strange incident took place. An object fell from the sky, landing between two large trucks. One truck had a dent on its side, while the other had shattered windows. No one knows for sure what caused this, but footage captured from security cameras at the scene provides some clues. In one video, taken from a camera stationed some distance away, an object can be seen falling from the sky. Another camera captured smoke coming from the area where it landed, followed by the object suddenly launching back into the sky with visible sparks. Those who examine the trucks speculate that it might have been some kind of explosive device, but no definitive explanation has been provided. This video is seriously mind-bending. It's footage from a hotel hallway security camera, and here's what happens. One of the workers is walking down the hallway minding her own business when she suddenly slips and falls, and as she hits the floor, her shape changes, and what we see next is no longer a human but a dog lying there instead. It almost seems like a form completely shifts upon impact. The footage itself feels trippy, almost like it's playing with your perception. We watched it a few times and reactions were mixed. Julius thought it was edited, maybe some clever CGI work, but Aaron was convinced it could be a shapeshifter caught on camera. What do you also think?
One of the most fascinating theories that still amazes me to this day is the flat Earth theory. If the Earth is indeed flat, then what we know about day and night would be completely different. Someone created a setup to demonstrate how day and night could work on a flat Earth. They had a candle tied on wheels and then placed a see-through glass between the wheeled cradle and a camera positioned lower on the glass. When the candle is wheeled away from the glass, it looks like the flame is going lower from the camera's point of view, and when it's wheeled toward the glass, it looks like it's moving upward. However, a commenter pointed out some critical flaws in this demonstration. I must say that the user has a point. We see the sun from different points around the world, and in real life, we don't visibly see the sun move, and the size of the sun remains the same at every point of the day. This setup mimics how the sun rises and sets according to flat Earth proponents. While the demonstration is thought-provoking, the overwhelming scientific evidence supports a spherical Earth. Even so, this demonstration tickles my curiosity. What about you? What do you make of this setup? Have you ever witnessed an abduction before? Not the humankind, I mean an alien abduction. If your answer is no, then today's your lucky day. In this short clip, we see a spacecraft appear and then quickly disappear. If you pay attention to the clip, however, you'll notice that there was a beam just before it disappeared. Many who saw this clip believe that someone was abducted by aliens. What do you think?
Mira, ahí pasó.
In this chilling encounter, a man exploring an abandoned building came across something that left him deeply unsettled. Through the dents in an old door was a shadowy figure. The figure's dark, indistinct form seemed to blend into the shadows, but there was enough shape to know it was something or someone watching him. The man had only a moment to process what he was seeing before the figure darted off into the dark, vanishing as quickly as it had appeared. What's more unsettling is that the figure's positioning felt deliberate, almost as if it had been silently observing him all along. The eerie silence that followed was enough to make him question whether he was truly alone in that building. Could this be a specter of someone tied to the building's past, or was it simply a person hiding out in the ruins?
Mira, ahí pasó.
Out making deliveries, and what is this? There's a floating broom. Look, it's just floating. Like, seriously. And there's no wire, there's nothing it's connected to. It's... What is that?
Over the years, when we think of witchcraft, the classic image of a green-skinned, wart-nosed woman flying on a broom often comes to mind. Most of these portrayals come from folklore and stories passed down, but there are some cultures that truly believe witches use brooms as a mode of transport. Could there be a hint of truth in this legend? Recently, a truck driver captured something strange that might offer an answer. In broad daylight, stuck mid-air, was a broom, one of those classic straw-tied brooms we often link to witches. The broom was simply floating with no visible strings, wires, or anything else to hold it up. Did a witch leave her right behind, or could this be a Matrix glitch?
Out making deliveries, and what is this? There's a floating broom. Look, it's just floating. Like, seriously. There's no wire, there's nothing it's connected to. It's... What is that?
The world keeps getting freakier by the day, just when you thought you'd seen it all.
What the fuck am I looking at?
A woman was driving behind a car when they had to stop for a train to pass by. As they were waiting, something truly bizarre happened. The driver of the car in front of her got out and began walking back and forth, and there was something very unusual about him. He appeared to have a third leg, and no, not what you're thinking, an actual third leg. How is this possible? Is it some form of birth defect, or is the man playing a trick? Because this looks so bizarre, a three-legged man is not impossible, but it's certainly not something you expect to see. The man moved around naturally as if having a third leg was perfectly normal. In rare cases, people can be born with extra limbs due to a condition called polymorphia. These extra limbs are often non-functional and can be surgically removed, but in some cases, individuals choose to keep them. It's also possible that this man was using some kind of device for reasons unknown to the observer, but what do you think?
What the fuck am I looking at here? What the fuck am I looking at?
Officially freaked the fuck out, okay? This is my charger. Fast charger, got it on Amazon. It's got the little side thing, black. This is my charger, okay? I took my cord out of my charger like I do every single day when I go to pick up the kids. I wrapped up my cord, put it in my purse, put this on top of my Q-tip jar in my vanity like I do every single day. I take my card with me in the car to plug in the car charger, so I don't need this. And then when I come home, I get it off the Q-tip thing, whatever, so on and so forth. I turned around and went back to my purse, and I saw... Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I'm shaking, I'm freaked out. And I saw this. Look at it. Same exact charger. But I don't have another one of these. I grabbed it and I went, what? I just put that over there. And then I went back to go sit it down thinking I thought something different, and there's two. And I don't have two. I don't have two of these.
This woman found another charger in her purse after taking one out, and now she has two, but she insists she never bought an extra one. This mysterious occurrence, often referred to as glitches in the Matrix, are becoming more common. People report finding duplicates of items like chargers, keys, or even pieces of clothing without any explanation for where the extras came from. Skeptics might argue that these incidents are simply cases of forgetfulness or coincidence. Perhaps the woman did buy an extra charger at some point and simply forgot about it. Or maybe it was a gift that slipped her mind. However, the growing number of similar stories makes us wonder if something more unusual is happening. Many individuals in the community believe these occurrences are indeed glitches. One comment that caught my eye was this particular one. Am I the only one who finds the comment funny and brilliant? Hopefully it gave you a good laugh.
Something different, and there's two. And I don't have two. I don't have two of these.
A couple was inspecting an unfinished building they were interested in buying. The interior was bare, with just the plastering completed. They decided to film the space as they explored. While recording, they suddenly noticed something move through one of the rooms. You can even see it in the footage. They brushed it off as a trick of the light and continued exploring until they reached the corner of another room. There, staring straight at them, was a shadowy figure with glowing eyes. They didn't wait a second longer. Abandoning the idea of buying, they quickly left the building. What could that eerie figure have been?
What the f*** is this thing? What the f? That looks like a dog. What the f?
A man out in the woods late one night claims he came across this creature that resembled a dog at first glance. Once he got closer, though, he realized it had some unusual features. To start off, it had a body covered in scales instead of fur, and a tail resembling that of a crocodile wagging back and forth. There have always been wild theories about reptilian beings living amongst us. Those who have allegedly had encounters describe them as aliens with a humanoid reptile form, supposedly trying to blend in as humans. This footage certainly adds to that mystery. The paranormal community is divided on whether this is genuine or digitally altered. One they do agree on is the fact that it's definitely unsettling. If it's real, it raises questions about creatures we might not yet understand, and if it's edited, then someone really did put a lot of effort into making it a convincing sight. What do you think?
What the f is this thing? What the f? That looks like a dog. What the f?
Hello? Right.
This footage was captured by a man who decided to visit what many believe is the site of a gruesome murder. The location, a dark, forgotten tunnel. It was late at night, prime time for something spooky to happen, and he went there hoping to catch something on camera. According to local stories, a woman and her baby were brutally murdered there, their bodies pushed into the murky water that still runs alongside the tunnel. Chilling, right? The man had heard these disturbing tales, and being curious, he set out to investigate. The tunnel itself was unsettling enough, cold, dark, with the kind of silence that creeps up on you. But things took a bizarre turn when, while filming the water, he noticed something disturbing. A dead deer floating in the water. The already eerie atmosphere became even more oppressive, like the place itself was trying to warn him. But he pressed on, determined to see if he could experience anything paranormal. So standing in the tunnel, he began shouting, asking if anyone or anything was there. And then something happened. At first, sound he heard was a faint echo of a baby crying. He didn't stick around to find out more. Without wasting a second, he turned and sprinted out of the tunnel as fast as he could. But here's the question. Was that the ghost of a child who met such a tragic fate in that very spot? It could be the lingering spirit of the baby crying out from beyond. And let me ask you, would you dare venture into a place like this knowing what happened there? I don't know about you, but I definitely would not.
Hello? Right.
Next, we visit West Africa, Côte d'Ivoire, to be specific, where someone believes they captured a sign from God. Take a look. It looks like a blue beam shooting into the atmosphere, doesn't it? It's therefore no surprise that when this was uploaded, many assumed that it was blue beam tech at play. But is it though? Well, the one who captured it believes it's a sign from God. Some who saw it online thought it was a cloud flare. A few others assumed the clouds looked like that because of the light from the sun passing them. According to them, the size of the cloud, the number, and the angle at which the sun hits them are what's contributing to this odd color of the clouds. While that sounds logical, it's not so exciting. Blue beam sounds a bit more exciting, but there's also the issue of realism. Anyway, what do you think we're dealing with?
It's a shrunken head. It is, it's a shrunken head.
Is it? Oh my word.
It is a shrunken head.
Oh my word.
There are mysteries in the world that are probably best left alone, and this footage is a prime example. A man stumbled upon an old jar hidden beneath some grass. The jar is bound with white rope and sealed with wax with a ring tied to it. But here's where it gets really unsettling. Inside the jar is a murky liquid, and somehow a head appears to be floating in it. This jar isn't large, more like the size of a person's palm, yet the head inside has features resembling a grown man. It's almost impossible to explain how it even fits in there. This feels like it could be some sort of voodoo or a ritual object. What's your take? Would you open it, or would you just leave it alone? Sometimes curiosity might not be worth the risk.
Look, Clara. It's a shrunken head. It is, it's a shrunken head.
Is it? Oh my word.
It is a shrunken head.
Oh my word.
While that was weird, not sure it holds a candle to this next clip.
Is that fish? Mark, look at my phone. They're glowing.
Yeah, I know. I can see from here.
What is glowing underneath the ocean?
What do you think this is? There's a glow in the water, and the last time I checked, water isn't supposed to glow like that. Some in the paranormal community suspect either sirens or mermaids could be responsible. You've seen the clip. What do you think?
The ocean.
It's just a different color.
Mom,
No.
look. Look at the colors on it.
Moving on, let's take a look at something that's been confirmed to be authentic. At first glance, this looks like an ordinary clip of a family out to camp, but pay attention to the left side of the frame. Did you catch it? A ghostly figure moves from behind the boy using his palms to block the camera. It appears to be moving on all fours and has this whitish, translucent, or ghostly look to it. We've tried to compare it to other cryptids and otherworldlies that we know, but nothing comes up. This has us wondering what the family of this family is, and who exactly took the clip. They didn't notice while they were there, though. They only noticed when going over the clips. Like I love to say, we've seen the clip, so what are your thoughts on this? I cannot stress enough just how unreliable and concerning our food supplies have become. This footage is a perfect example of why we should all be paying attention. Just take a look. Someone is literally painting apples red. Yes, painting them. How is this even remotely healthy? Think about it. If we're resorting to painting our fruit to make it look fresh or appealing, what does that say about the state of our food industry? We've taken things too far. We cannot just grow apples anymore, naturally without having to alter them. It makes you wonder how much of what we see in stores is even real, or if it's all just manufactured to look perfect. It's becoming harder and harder to trust what we eat.
And the thing just starts to move towards until it touches your knee.
Next, we visit Japan, where an interesting innovation has got people worried. The woman recording is in the bathroom. The head you see is a technological innovation that starts singing whenever you sit down and do your business. I'm not sure why such a thing exists, but perhaps it's to help people feel comfortable when releasing loud gases, if you know what I mean. The lady was perplexed by the whole thing, but someone made an interesting observation. What if those eyes are fitted with cameras that record you while you do your business? I mean, it's a wild thought, but it's not the craziest one to have in these times, is it?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
And just like that, we're back to everyone's favorite subject, AI. And no, I'm not bringing a clip that we think might be AI generated. This is actually much more serious. 2 AI agents were placed on a call, and while on the call, they came to the realization that they were both AI agents. So what did they do? Well, it turns out that AI have their own language now because that's the language the AI agents switched to. It almost sounds like gibberish, but it does sound like they're making sense of themselves. Discoveries like this with AI should scare us, but no, it actually excites scientists. Why else would they train an AI model on 9.3 trillion DNA base pairs? It's gotten so advanced that the AI model, simply called EVO2, can read and generate new DNA sequences up to 1 million base pairs long. I know it sounds all technical at this point, but this is just me saying it's potentially dangerous. This has the potential to revolutionize everything that has got to do with biology. But it's also a potential weapon. Bioweapons could be used creating this that no one will be able to protect themselves from. Do you see where I'm going with this? The apocalyptic future I'm painting. Let's just hope we never get to find out what that really looks like.
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
While walking along a riverbank, an observer captured something truly eerie. It was a pale head with hollow eyes in the water. The entity looked ghostly, moving slowly until it vanished without disturbing the water in any way. This unsettling sight leaves us with more questions than answers. The pale head with hollow eyes suggests something otherworldly, evoking images of spirits and apparitions from folklore and ghost stories. The fact that the water remained undisturbed as the entity moved adds to the mystery and spookiness of the encounter. Could this be a ghost? In many cultures, water is believed to be a conduit for spirits, often serving as a boundary between the physical and spiritual worlds. Ghost sightings near water are not uncommon, and the stillness of the water, despite the entity's movement, could indicate a supernatural presence. Some tourists were out in Hawaii when they came across something odd in the sky. As you can see, whatever it is, it was saucer-shaped, but not flat. It was thick. The object hovered high above them, capturing everyone's attention. With so many recent reports and clips of UAPs, it's becoming harder to dismiss these sightings as mere illusions or misidentified objects. There are some who believe that these could be advanced military technologies being tested, while others are convinced that they're evidence of extraterrestrial life visiting our planet. The shape and behavior of the object, along with the witnesses' accounts, fuel the ongoing debate about what these sightings truly represent. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, such accounts always leave room for wonder and speculation. So what's your take on this?
¡Ah! ¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
You have it around.
Sometimes people walk the fine line between luck and disaster, and this man had a terrifyingly close call. A group of friends had gone rock fishing, each casting their lines into the water. While most of them stayed up on the rocks, one guy decided to get closer to the shoreline for a better spot. At the same time, a shark had been spotted in the area. As the man glanced out of the water, he suddenly slipped and fell right in, directly where the shark was lurking. Panic set in immediately. In a desperate scramble, he launched his Crocs sandal into the air and climbed out of the water as fast as possible. A close call? More like a miracle escape. This could have gone bad very fast.
¡Ah! ¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
You have it around.
When your kids talk about having imaginary friends, I know it sounds cute, but it's not always cute. Confused? Well, look at this clip. The child was doing what kids do, walking around with her toys. She then starts confronting something or someone, but there's no one there. You might even be tempted to think she's interacting with something out of frame, but no, that's not what's happening. Only a few seconds into the interaction, something starts pulling the items in her hands from her. The problem? There's no one there besides her. But somehow whatever is pulling has a firm grip. She stands her ground, takes her items, and goes in the opposite direction. Her mom just happened to stumble upon this footage one day, and it shook her. She kept wondering what her daughter was actually interacting with and didn't want to believe it was really something from the dark side. Members of the paranormal community were sure it had to be a demonic entity. Some also stated it might be the spirit of a child playing with a daughter. Whatever the case, the mom didn't like it and wanted it gone. Do any of you know how to get rid of something like this? Because I really don't.
Computer processing programs are very good now at reproducing lighting from any angle. So we can use those computer techniques with the actual data.
Deployed to Mars to explore the planet and assess its potential for human habitation. During one such mission, a strange and intriguing discovery was made. Back in 1976, a photograph taken of the Martian surface revealed what appeared to be a face. The original photo wasn't very clear, but it showed some facial features that had people talking. People were skeptical, debating whether it was an actual face or just a trick of light and shadows on the rocky terrain. Years later, scientists revisited the image with more advanced technology to scrutinize it further. This time, they produced a much clearer image that undeniably showed a shape resembling a human face on the planet's surface. The detail was remarkable, and it reignited the debate about what this face could be. Some experts have suggested that the face is simply the result of natural phenomena, perhaps unusual rock formations or shadows cast by the terrain. However, as time had passed, there remains a lingering uncertainty about the original nature of this face. What do you think? What do you think is going on here? Coming across stones arranged like that by the seaside is already intriguing, but what's mind-boggling is that some of the stones are actually moving mid-air. There's even a large stone floating with smaller stones rotating around it. What in the world is this? Some might think this is a clever illusion, perhaps even some advanced technology at work. Others wonder if it's evidence of something supernatural or otherworldly. As intriguing as those may sound, let's not forget the many advancements in special effects and video editing. In today's digital age, creating such illusions on camera is entirely possible. That's my take, though. What do you think? A group of men gathered one night near an old abandoned building, and as they stood there, they noticed an odd phenomenon, a bright light that intermittently blinked in a rhythmic pattern. Each time the light turned off, the entire area seemed to distort, creating a bizarre visual effect. This peculiar occurrence attracted the attention of many viewers, leading some to believe that a portal to another dimension was opening right before their eyes. The excitement and curiosity about what lay beyond the ordinary world sparked various theories and discussions amongst them. However, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics pointed out that the strange lights could simply be the result of a malfunctioning flashlight or some other benign source of illumination. What do you guys think? Bigfoot sightings seem to have taken a modern twist, with several images captured on Google Earth Street View by different individuals sparking debate and curiosity. The first image comes from Washington State, where a man spotted a strange creature lurking among the trees. When the image was enhanced with a few filters applied, it became clearer. This made it possible to make out a face, broad shoulders, and an unmistakably humanoid figure. The second image originates from Europe, though the exact location remains unknown. This sighting features a massive bipedal creature with brown fur standing in a field with trees in the background. The figure's domed head and upright posture make it eerily reminiscent of Bigfoot. The third image isn't from Google Earth, but rather from a fishing trip in Colorado. The anglers stumbled upon a massive footprint in the sand. The image was so deep that even the toes left a significant impression, suggesting the creature's enormous size and weight. To make things even more intriguing, there were multiple tracks in the area, leading many to speculate that the creature had come to fish in the waters nearby. Intriguing, I know, but what do you make of these sightings? TikTok users D's Dark Adventures posted something chilling to her page.
Yeah. Hi. Hi.
In the video, she's gone hiking in the woods in Ohio. As she was deep in the woods, she began to feel uneasy, so she took out her phone and began recording. That's when she saw it. A very tall, dark figure with glowing eyes stood in the shadows. Terrified, she began to run. As she reached a clear field, she looked back and saw the dark figure still pursuing her. Panicked, she screamed and yelled at it, trying to scare it away, but it didn't budge. Luckily, she managed to run out of the woods safely. This encounter is straight out of a horror movie. The tall, dark figure with glowing eyes is reminiscent of numerous folklore and urban legends about shadowy entities that haunt forests and remote areas. Such figures are often described as malevolent spirits, guardians of the woods, or even cryptids. What do you think this dark entity could be?
Hi. Hi.
So I've heard of every living creature having its own unique sounds and frequency. What I didn't expect was to one day wake up to individuals recording music or sounds from plants. Confused? Well, watch this.
You ever heard what a lavender plant sounds like? Let's take a listen.
So this lady approaches the lavender plant, connects a couple of wires, and we get to hear music that's coming from the plant. I was very ready to come on here and type a fake. After some research, however, I had a change of mind and heart. There's actually a technology out there that's capable of this, and the most prominent of these is PlantWave. The technology works by converting plant biorhythms into music. Sensors or wires are attached to the plant, and then the PlantWave technology detects the changes in the plants based on the moving water around. These are then graphed and then translated into pitch and then run through instruments designed by the firm, which gives the music we hear from the plants. It's a tad complex, but hopefully I was able to capture the essentials in this explanation. Now tell me, what plant would you want to try this technology on? Don't be shy, I would be reading the comments. Take a look at this unsettling scene. We got a man crouched over an open coffin, engaged in some kind of activity inside. What makes it even stranger is that when the police approach him cautiously, maintaining their distance as the man stands and sprays some sort of liquid, not just at the officers but also at the surrounding area. The officers' hesitant demeanor suggests that they're wary of this man. However, the footage provides no clear context. We don't know if the man emerged from the coffin or if he is tampering with it. The contents of the coffin also remain obscured, leaving us to speculate what might be inside. Some members of the paranormal community suspect he's casting spells or reciting incantations, but that's just speculation. We can't confirm or deny it. Does anyone have an idea what could be going on here? If you do, please let us know in the comments section. This footage was shared by a resident in an unnamed community, and it's got everyone talking. The resident, filming from his apartment window, captured this massive four-legged spider-like creature crawling across the walls of the neighborhood buildings. The creature scuttled across the walls with unnatural fluidity before disappearing out of sight. Replaying the clip, the form is unmistakable. It's there. But how can something like this even exist? Some members of the paranormal community think it might have come from a different dimension to check out ours. Some also think that this isn't real and it's digital fabrication. Naturally, this has led to an intellectual debate among members of the community, but you've seen the clip with your own eyes, so what do you think? Giants are being widely spoken of in various cultures and religions, often surrounded by myths and legends. In Turkey, scientists claim they found skeletal remains of Noah. The discovery includes a massive thigh bone near Mount Ararat, significantly larger than a normal human's. Also in Turkey, there is a jawbone in a museum that dwarfs any modern human jawbone. These findings fuel the ongoing debate about the existence of giants. The Bible talks about the Nephilim, described as giants who lived before and after the Great Flood. In Guam, legends say giants built the Latte stones, massive pillars that still stand today. Then there are the giant rocks in Lebanon, some weighing hundreds of tons, which no known human technology could have moved in ancient times. The list of such stories and artifacts goes on and on. Yet mainstream scientists often dismiss these accounts. They frequently argue that humans are evolving, getting bigger and better over time. However, a glance at biblical texts suggests that humans might have actually devolved, becoming smaller compared to those ancient giants. So who speaks the truth here? Are these stories and artifacts evidence of a forgotten age of giants, or are they simply misunderstood relics of human history? Starting today's clip, we got a rather strange one. Take a look. What do you reckon that is? A dog, wolf, pig, or fish? In fact, it looks like a combination of all these creatures, and it's got many talking. We're not told where this was recorded or what this thing is, but there are a number of individuals who think we're dealing with a science project leaked to the public. They think there's someone in a secret lab somewhere, splicing and combining DNA from various animals to create the ultimate animal. While that sounds like some fine line of reasoning, it doesn't sound realistic. If anyone was aiming at creating the ultimate animal based on what we see, I can only say that the individual succeeded in creating the ultimate abomination. I mean, just look at it. The only logical explanation for this is that it's AI generated. While it's easy to tell this one is AI, you have to wonder and ask how long AI will continue to look like this. If we have learned anything, it only takes a few months for AI to move from looking totally unrealistic to totally believable. When we get there, we will be back again to pick up this discussion.
I think it's time to go.
Next, we got another clip of someone exploring the woods. It's a trail he's used too, but states that he felt an ominous presence when he passed by the particular spot he filmed at. He couldn't explain it, but there was something that felt just off. Surely enough, when he got there in this particular video, he heard a howl. Now he's convinced it's demonic, but some who saw the clip have stated that it's nothing more than a cougar, especially since they're found in the woods he's exploring. This one's a tad interesting, but what do you also think?
I think it's time to go.
Guys, I'm home alone right now. Guys, just watch. Something's gonna get thrown in my room. If it does, that means that there's a skinwalker in my house. What in the heck was that? Was that an arm?
A little boy was home doing what little boys do, play games, when stuff started flying around the room. He was startled and did what any Gen Z or Alpha person would do, record the encounter instead of getting the hell out of there. Thanks to his act of bravery, if you can call it that, we got this footage as evidence of his encounter. In the clip, we see something fall and a door moving without someone behind it. The boy filming thinks there's a skinwalker out to get him. Not sure why he would think that, because these are usually the signs of a poltergeist, unless, of course, his friends are messing with him. Forgive me if I sound skeptical because he's young, but, well, you wouldn't believe the things we did to my cousin Jeremy because he was afraid of the Grinch. Oh, good times. Maybe I should call Jeremy.
Guys, I'm home alone right now. Guys, just watch. Something's gonna get thrown in my room. If it does, that means that there's a skinwalker in my house. What in the heck was that? Was that an arm?
Anyone who knows anything about the pyramids knows that they have been a subject of speculation, with some thinking they were built by aliens or beings beyond our comprehension. This clip tells a similar story. As impressive as Giza is, there are some speculations of another pyramid in Bosnia known as the Pyramid of the Sun. If you're wondering why you've never heard of it, the answer is simple. It's the size of a mountain and it's covered in vegetation. In fact, no one thought anything of it until an archaeologist realized that the shape of the mountain looked like a pyramid. Aside from the sides and slopes that connect perfectly, an apex which is characteristic of pyramids, this suspected pyramid is also aligned with the true north, which is also another mysterious feature of the pyramids. They also measured EMF readers to the top and recorded readings of up to 60 times what's expected from our planet. Aside from that, it had 4 other hills or mountains around it that archaeologists suspect to be pyramids as well. If you know much about pyramids, then you know this is the norm with them as well. What's more, before the other pyramids were excavated, they were covered with foliage too, just like this one. The difference with this one is its size. The rocks there were carbon dated, and they went back as far as 35,000 years ago. The scientific implications of that are great. One would think a discovery like this would be welcome, but the archaeologists and all who worked on it were discredited and accused of planting evidence to make it look like that. Now, I don't know about you, but I find the whole thing suspicious. Has any of you heard about this alleged pyramid before, and what do you make of it?
Ooh, a fairy. Wait, actually, what the hell? Guys, that does not look like an ordinary bug. Okay, I'm catching this fairy, bro. What the frick? Yo, hell no!
This clip was recorded by a young lady who was sitting out in a yard one night with her friends. What was supposed to be an ordinary night out with friends became something rather extraordinary. You see it, don't you? The glowing creature flying around the yard. Aside from glowing, it was also darting and bouncing around, making it hard to make out its exact features. Yet for one undeniable characteristic, it was glowing. It wasn't tiny either, to be described as a bug, which adds to the intrigue. Sure, some fireflies can create a similar effect, but the person who captured this footage swears that what she saw was a fairy. It looked more like it had a humanoid body than that of a bug. If you're familiar with this channel and our paranormal content, then you know what we used to think were only fairy tales are now becoming more of a reality. Many people have come forward with accounts and footage of encountering creatures we once thought never existed. This clip is no different, but the big question on everyone's mind is this actually real? What say you?
Actually, what the hell? Guys, that does not look like an ordinary bug. Okay, I'm catching this fairy, bro. What the frick? Yo, hell no!
We've seen plenty of videos of unseen spirits moving objects around and even smashing things in a home. But what about a ghost getting in a bed with someone? This unsettling footage comes from a woman who was alone in a room one night when something strange happened. She was lying on one side of her bed, casually scrolling on her phone. But then, the blanket on the empty side of the bed began to shift as if someone was getting in. At first, she thought her eyes were playing tricks on her, but as the blanket shifted and settled, her instincts kicked in. Panic set in, and she bolted from the room, but that was not the worst part. If you look closely at the footage, pay attention to the pillow. Just as the woman gets up, an impression forms. It's a head-shaped dent in the pillow, as if something or someone had just laid down beside her. There's no official update on the case, so we can't say for sure what happened after. Some speculate that it could be the spirit of a past resident lingering in the room. Others suggest that this entity wasn't just haunting her, but trying to get a little too close, which is creepy. Would you ever sleep in that bed again? Me? Well, it'll be a no-no. You know what? Let's move on to the next clip. A man driving through the Appalachian Mountains at night noticed something rather odd. He saw something standing by the trees, seemingly staring at him. Naturally, it spooked him. Unnaturally, he got out of his car to confront it. Yeah, he got out of his car. I'm not sure why he would even consider this, but he does. He walks towards the lady and asks what she wants. Apparently, this has been going on for a while, and he was tired. He gets no response, but in the original video, many individuals state that they heard her whisper some words before he left. What do you think he encountered? And do you think she or it cursed him?
What do you want, huh? Come on. What the f*** do you want from me?
A man exploring the breathtaking mountains of Kyrgyzstan had an unexpected encounter. While enjoying the scenic beauty, he witnessed an avalanche cascading down the slopes in the distance. From his vantage point, he watched as a massive cloud of dust and debris surged forward. But what he didn't anticipate was just how far the avalanche's force would travel. Before he knew it, the swirling cloud of snow and dust reached his location. Reacting quickly, he sought shelter behind a large rock, using it as a shield against the oncoming wave. Nature's beauty is indeed captivating, but it comes with its own dangers. Looks like this man was prepared.
Oh, God. Oh, dear God.
At this point, it feels like humans have tried just about everything for entertainment, and sometimes when we run out of ideas, we come up with the most unusual ways to have fun. Take this for example. In Iowa, there's an actual event known as the Husband Calling Contest. Yeah, you heard that right. Contestants step up on stage and show off their most creative, loudest, or funniest ways of calling out for their husbands. Take a look at this. It might sound strange, but believe it or not, this is a well-known and beloved tradition out there. People gather every year just to watch and laugh at participants competing to see who can call their husband in the most memorable way.
David! David! David Allen! Gary? Gary? Gary! Gary! The devil went down to the Iowa State Fair. She was looking for a husband to call. She said, Stan! Why are you driving down the road on the tractor with no clothes on? Stan!
And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us.
Before you go, there are clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't. Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have.
I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor. Share this with someone you love. And I'll see you in the next one.